Hi everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm going to talk about how to find the right customers for your course. Last week, I talked about how there is a lid for every pot, a teacher for every student. Regardless of what you see out there in the world today, whether it's the exact same product you plan to offer or something totally different, that it really doesn't matter because what you bring to the table is the differentiator for your product. However, today we're going to talk about how to actually find those people who are your perfect students and how they can find you as their perfect teacher. So last April, I left my corporate job, actually almost a year ago to date. When I left this job, I had some pretty good assumptions. I knew that I was really good at the things that I did, that I could make training courses and programs. They were all a piece of cake for me. And I was highly successful. Did I ever tell you how they replaced me with 4 people? Yeah, I was good and I knew it. And so I figured going into my own business, what could go wrong? I always succeeded at what I put my mind to. And why would this be any different? So what I did was I prepared my products and I got ready to launch, and then I put in my notice at my job. And when I left my job, I launched my product, super excited, ready to go. And then all of a sudden, there were crickets. Nobody was buying, nobody was looking, nothing was happening. And I didn't understand it because I thought I did everything right. And I'd always done everything right in the past. And then I was looking at all these other people who were creating courses and basically doing the same thing that I was, like helping people create courses. And they had nowhere near the same background that I had. They were marketing people, teaching people about learning, which how could they even do that? And yet I could see that they were highly successful and I wasn't. And I really started to panic. I sort of felt like everything that I believed in wasn't actually true in the entrepreneur world. That these marketing people were somehow geniuses, that they, were able to trap people in and get them to purchase their products. And it was okay that they were doing that. And that when I thought about my morals about creating really good courses for people and helping people learn the how to do it, that maybe that actually wasn't a really good business plan. And this was really scary because here I was, a single mom, financially holding together my family of 2 girls in my house, and I no longer had a job. So I had a little bit of, I'm not even just going to say a little bit, I'm going to say a lot of freakouts because I didn't know what was happening. And finally I was able to connect with someone who said to me, they're like, Lindsay, who are you actually talking to? And they had a really good point. I had made the assumption that everything that I did in corporate would work exactly the same way in my business. And that's just not the case. In corporate, my audience was already defined for me. Sure, I had to talk to them and find out what they needed and wanted and how they wanted it delivered, but the people were already there. And I did not do that with my business. I sort of just made an assumption and I jumped right in and thought the people would come. And they didn't. I ended up having to start from scratch. I basically had to take away everything that I thought that I knew, even whether it was about my industry or my potential customers, and go back to the very beginning. So in the last vlog, we talked about really defining your niche. And I think my example was that I was a yoga teacher and I was going to create online yoga classes for single moms who only have 15 minutes a day during nap time to do their practice. That's a pretty unique audience right there. And you know what? I bet there's a lot of people who that really applies to. The next step is to make that audience real, is to go in and find that mom, find that woman, and really get into her shoes and get to know her really well. I want to know, what books does she read? What does she, if she reads at all, because she doesn't have much time, Or what are her current problems as a mom? What are her biggest pain points? What is she struggling with? And where does she want to be better? And what does she want to work through? I need to be able to understand so that I can talk to her directly. And that's exactly what I did, is I started to get on the phone with people and hear their words, and not just tell them, but actually hear their words and what they wanted. As soon as I started to do this, more people started coming to me. My messaging was clear because people felt like I was talking directly to them. I wasn't trying to do this one-size-fits-all approach anymore. I knew that every time that I wrote a blog or every time I made one of these videos that I'm making right now, I was talking directly to that person in my audience, like we were having a conversation. And that helped people relate to me and understand what I do even better. So I want to recommend this for you. If you are really struggling with getting going and getting connections with your audience, take a step back and clear the slate of what you think you already know about them. And just get on the phone. Try to take maybe a couple hours every week to find people who will talk to you. You aren't trying to sell them anything or tell them about you. Give them, half an hour to just talk to you and tell you what they're looking for that they hope that maybe you can help them with. I really took this strategy to heart, and it's something that's now part of my weekly plan, and I have found it to be awesome for my business, and I encourage you to do the same. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll talk to you soon.